1.
Hi, I'm Pamela from Pamela's Patterns, and welcome to my studio. I'm here today to introduce my newest pattern, the UnMentionables Worth Mentioning. This pattern has many different styles in it, and I'm going to start by showing you the No VPL undies. VPL stands for Visible Panty Line. And what this underwear has to recommend for itself is that it is not a thong and it's not a panty. And it won't have any elastic around your legs that will bunch up underneath your clothes. So there are 3 different styles that you can choose from, and I'm going to show you a little bit of each of them. I'm going to start with the high cut undies. And this is kind of a French cut undie, and it comes up quite high on your hip, and it can be made from stretch lace like what you see here, which is real easy because there's no hemming even that you have to do because you're just using the finished edge of the lace. You can also make them from fabrics left over from some of your t-shirts, your cardigans, or any other knit garments that you make, so you have something to do with all those leftover scraps. Now, the most popular pair in the classes that I've taught so far has been the low cut undies. And these are kind of more like a bikini cut style. You can make them come all the way up to your waist, or you could have them be a low cut as well. It just depends on how tall you make them at the top. And so here's another pair in lace. And then I just wanted to show you too that there are some really beautiful laces out on the market today, and this one was exceptionally pretty to make them out of. And then again, here is a pair that was made from leftovers from one of my t-shirts. And then I know everybody's going to want to say that, oh, I can't wear those, I have to wear the full cut undies, but you'd be surprised at how many people like the French cut and the low cut. This is a full cut undie, so it actually has a front and a back that are different, and it has a little bit more coverage, but still no elastic at the leg area so that you get a nice smooth fit. Now, this pair was made from some lining fabric, a very stretchy lining fabric like a bathing suit lining, and then I've got a pair that are made from, again, leftovers from an earlier project, because don't you think that everybody should have a pair of underwear to match their tops, you know, just in case you go to the hospital or something like that. So the last pair I want to show you is just kind of a fun thing that I did. I had some t-shirts made up with my logo on them, and so I figured if Victoria's Secret can plaster their name all over the rear of their underwear, so can Pamela's Patterns. But it might be a fun thing to do with some of the t-shirts that you have, and I know it would be a big hit with any of the young people in your life as well. There's a variety of fabrics on the market today that you can use to create your no VPL undies. So I wanted to show you a couple of them. First of all, you can get this beautiful stretch lace that has a scallop on each edge. It's very, very stretchy, and that makes a real beautiful underwear that you don't have to even hem. So they're nice and quick to make. Here I've got some in white and black. You could also use an all-over lace, stretch lace fabric. So this lace is 60 inches wide. You buy it just like yardage. It has tons of stretch to it, and this as well could be used to make your underwear. Another popular fabric would be a tricot fabric, kind of like what you see slips made from. It comes in a wide variety of colors. It's usually quite wide, and it has a nice amount of stretch. They're real comfortable everyday underwear. You could also use stretch lining fabrics like swimwear lining. Lots of stretch again, that's what you're looking for, something with a good amount of stretch. And you can find this at some of the stores that specialize in knits and spandex. And then of course your fabrics just leftover fabrics. You don't need a lot. You know, there's usually that little piece of fabric left over from making a t-shirt or a cardigan, and you save it forever. Well, you could cut some underwear out of it and have them be some pretty fancy ones as well. Now, all of the underwear have a liner in the crotch area, and so really all it is just a little piece of cotton. And so if you have any leftover t-shirts, that makes a really good liner for your underwear. So if I've just done some t-shirt makeovers and I have some of the t-shirt that I'm cutting off, I usually save that piece that I'm cutting off and I can use it for a liner. And if you had cotton prints, you could get kind of fancy with those liners too. The other thing to consider is your elastic. So there are a wide variety of lingerie type elastics. I have several here, and you can see there's a wide variety in widths, in styles, but what all of these have in common is that they have a little lacy edge at the top, and they're called Pico Edge elastics. And I just kind of look wherever I'm shopping to see if anybody has anything interesting that I can get for lingerie elastics. They come, again, in a wide variety of colors and different widths as well. I personally like to work with at least a 1/2 inch wide if I can find it, because it's just easier to sew with. You can certainly do any width that you want though. For a short while, or until I get tired of it, whatever comes first, I will be offering some elastics and some kits for you to get started with this project. And so the elastic will be packaged like this. It's 1/2 inch wide felt back elastic with the Pico edge. Felt back elastic's real soft and feels really nice against your skin. I'll also be selling some packages already made up with a variety of fabrics in them that include the lace or the fabric, the cotton liner, and the elastics, everything you need to get started to make your own VPL undies. Check my website for availability. The Cami Illusion is kind of like a dickie, I guess you'd call it, in times past, that hooks to your bra with a little strap loop and fills in the area that you might want to have a little bit more modest on any low-cut shirts. So I'm going to show you how that works. Here I've got one on the mannequin under a cowl neck, which, by the way, I'll have a cowl neck pattern coming out hopefully this year. And I'll show you how that looks on the bra. So that you can see it here. So it just hooks right onto the bra strap, like that. And this one I've actually made reversible. So I can just flip this around. Snap it in. And so that one was reversible so that it could do a little double duty for you. You can make these out of all your leftover fabrics as well. I think it's nice to have a couple of basic colors like you see here. A white one, a black. Here's an off-white with a little texture, left over from a tank top that I made, and one made out of stretch lace. The concept of this is very easy, and what I use to make the loops is actually a purchased product by Dritz. It's called shoulder strap guards, and you could make these yourself. There's directions in the pattern so that if you want to make them yourself you can, but heck, if it's already made for you, the project goes a lot faster. This project literally will take you less than 10 minutes from start to finish, and is just a real super fast project to do. So what I've done here is I've taken the strap loops and I have put them onto the Cami Illusion and just wrap that around, right sides together. I'd stitch down my sides, stitch across the top, and turn it right side out and it would be done. That's how fast it is. I don't actually finish off the bottom edge because the knits don't ravel, but you could finish them off with a serger or turning them under if you wanted to. One of my customers pointed out to me the other day that these shoulder strap guards actually come with 2 little safety pins, so that if you wanted to do double duty with your shoulder strap guards and only buy 1 pair, that you could even pin them in to the back of your Cami Illusion, and that way you could switch them out to different Cami Illusions if you wanted to. So just a thought. I've sewn all the rest of mine in, but I thought that was a great tip from a customer. The shoulder strap guards are available also on PamelasPatterns.com. The final item in this pattern are half slips. I've heard from so many people over the years that half slips are very difficult to find and expensive to purchase. And I've always made mine. They take about 20 minutes to make, so fast, and don't take a lot of fabric. And you know, when you make them yourself, you can make them whatever length you want. So there are 2 styles to the slip in this pattern. There is one that is called a straight slip. It actually is more like a pencil slip. It goes along with my pencil skirt pattern very well, but it would go with any straight skirt that you might have. And it does gather a little bit at the waist and has a nice smooth hem finish as well. And these slips are meant to be fairly close to the body. In other words, they don't have a lot of extra ease in them. So they're not a Spanx and they're not an actual full slip. They are just close to the body, and it's really nice. I call them the smoothing slips because they really do smooth out any scallops that you might have on the sides of your body that would show underneath your skirts and dresses. There is also a flared version. It's more of an A-line version, and it comes in 2 lengths, below the knee and a mid-calf length, depending on the types of skirts. This works perfectly under my bias skirt pattern, but again, any fuller style skirt it would look beautiful with as well. And then I made a real fun one out of a silk charmeuse. This is a stretch silk charmeuse, which is not too difficult to find anymore. And it is just beautiful and luxurious and so soft, so you'll have to be on the lookout for some of these more luxury fabrics as well. And even at a price tag of $16.95 a yard for this fabric, this is really just a little more than a half a yard of fabric, and so it's really not very expensive at all. As far as the fabrics that you'll need to do this, it's very similar to the fabrics that you used for the underwear. You can use the Antron tricots. You can have lining fabrics that are kind of stretch wovens, and so they kind of look like a woven fabric but still have the stretch and give to them. And then also your fancy fabrics like your silk charmeuses. The same elastics that you use for the underwear could be used for the slips as well. It's just picot edge elastic is always the prettiest, and I will have kits available again for a limited time that would have the slip fabrics and the elastics to get you started. I want to thank you for purchasing this pattern. I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with it. All of the projects take anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes, are super fast and useful. And I have people already that are making the no VPL undies as shower gifts and brides-to-be and for themselves as well. And I hope you have as much fun with it as I had making it. Stay tuned for techniques for making your underwear, slips, and Cami Illusion.